back round, like, how are we seeing Tay on this episode? Why is she so popular on episode 3 so far? Why is Tay so popular? She needs to be popular on both sides of the group now. So what's making Tay so popular from your perspective? Let me know what your thoughts are.
Tay knows how to talk to people.
Hmm.
Tay knows.
What that
Tay
mean?
knows. She knows how to talk to people. She's friendly. And I think she knows how to communicate with men. You know how like there's some women that just don't communicate well with men. She knows how to communicate with men. She knows what to say. She knows how not to come off very off-putting and abrasive. And on top of the fact that she's a pretty girl, she's sweet. I think the combination of the two makes her very easy to talk to and get along with. Versus like some of the other women, they may have other things going for them, but they don't, they may not be warm, they may not be welcoming, or they may be a little bit more aggressive, trying to get you to call them. Tay is just kind of just her, and the one that I said I didn't like her dress because her boobs was out. What's her name? The one that had the skating date, I think. I think she was on the skating.
Kiara.
Yes, those two know how to communicate. They communicate well and they're very warm energy, and I think the men are drawn to that. That's what I think.
Oh, Sid, what's your thoughts? Why is Tay seemingly winning over all the men, and they just seeming to need to fall over Tay? What's going on?
Tay is communicating with them in a manner to gain information. She's sharing of herself. She's showing she has substance. She is, just open to conversation. And she's showing she's listening to them. In this, I wasn't paying too much attention to Tay because, Khalil is a very fine looking man. So this interaction with Tay, she wasn't communicating with me. I was paying attention to him. Sorry.
Totally, totally understand. Totally understand. Sean, what's your thoughts? Why is Tay so popular? Why do you think that the man them really are feeling Tay?
I think the ladies captured it. Just her smile, her energy. I think she's funny. Like she has like a good balance of being like funny, um, and engaging. And she's a little flirty too. So it's like when you can mix all those things and you're pretty, you're gonna get the guys. That's it. You're gonna get us because it's like, oh wow, she's got a little bit. You're a little intrigued because she has a nice balance of all those things.
Yeah, definitely understand that. She's very, very pretty. I think also very light, refreshing. And I think she just seems to generally be intrigued by people, and that is a beautiful trait to have when, especially if that's a super weapon. If you're a beautiful person and you have the ability to actually be genuinely interested in people, like you see that you're intrigued by them, you want to know a bit more about them, people are always going to fall over you. Obviously, not every woman can do that because of course when you've been through things sometimes you just don't want to have to do that, but I get it. But Tay seems to have the breath of fresh air. She comes in the room, it just seems to be lighter. She makes, even if you weren't having a chance, like you're okay with it. And I think that is a superpower in itself. It is a rare superpower that's not many women have, but there are a few that have it where it's like, even if I know you're not interested in me, for the 5 minutes you're talking to me, I feel like you're at least engaged. You're talking. You're giving me some energy. I may not get a number. I may not even talk to you again. But I feel like I've been seen in those few moments, and that's a very rare skill to have, man or woman. I think to have that skill on a general basis. Elsa said it's not rare.
So wait a minute. So why hasn't that skill landed her in a committed relationship?
Because she got other issues. We never took. We're not. You see, some people are good at marketing. They're not good at sales. You have to understand
There
that.
you go.
You understand?
She's good.
Yeah.
She's good at the marketing. But then when you buy, you may have buyer's remorse.
That's
And
George
she's good
Paul
at
Simon.
sales too. It's retention. Don't forget retention.
Ooh, okay.
That's the
Sorry, my
other. That's
bad.
the other part. You got to be able to retain the product.
My
So
bad.
that's when the issues, when you see how the product might be defective or it
Mm.
doesn't work the way you thought it did, or it looked real good on the shelf, but then 3 weeks in it kind of don't work the same way, and you're like, ooh, I don't like this so much. I'm gonna return it.
No, can you expand on that, Sean? And the reason I'm saying that is because I think like obviously every season we talk about Ready to Love, we always talk about everybody's faults. But I want to look at the areas that we can also help them because, like you just said there, I think it's a perfect example between you and Elsa and Siway. What you just explained is a beautiful thing. She is beautiful. She's light. She's fluffy. She is entertaining. She is someone I would love to be around. Always smiling and just seemingly the sun is beaming on her. But for some reason, she's single and she's in the space. What is the issue? You mentioned retention. Please explain that a bit more in terms of business and dating terms and how you are kind of shaping that to make it understandable for everyone else.
Well, and Elsa brought up a good point. I need to be careful because we don't want to, we don't want to objectify women or make them like, in my, efforts of not being, misogynistic, But I think in a relationship there is that, the part that makes you want to stay with the person. And sometimes if people are unhealed, then or they have whatever they have going on, that does not allow the relationship to sustain itself. So people might, there's a lot of women that you'll see, they like, I can get a YN any day. And it's very true, women can get men, but can they get men to commit? Can they get men to commit long term? Can they get the right man to commit long term? And when they are with that right man, is that right man wanting to stay with them? And just specifically in that thing, a lot of times we have our unhealed issues, maybe how we handle conflict. Sometimes people like her, they're very fun and bubbly and light, and they put it's not necessarily a fakeness because it is a part of them, but once they let that part down, because it takes a lot of work to be like that all the time, then you see the real person, and sometimes that real person is not going to be smiling at you, and sometimes as men is like, oh, you just cussed me out. Ooh, you cussed me out 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 times. I didn't think that. Like, you just seem so light and bubbly. Why are you, or if it's not the curse out, why are you so harsh? Or, like, why you kind of cut me off when I talk? Like, it could be that. So whatever it is, that might be the thing that's harming her from staying in relationships long term.
And going along with what Sean just said, yes, it may be harsh, but yes, it could also mean, as the chat is reminding us, she was focused on her education. It could be just like Wayne said, it take 5 7 8 days. It could be the focus on the education is causing neglect, in the relationship. It could be a lack of balance of different things in her life. But she did admit, hey, she, can get loose with it. But I keep telling y'all, this is Philly. We have seen the ladies of Philly. I think Tay is keeping, her Philly energy under wraps, just like Coley did. And we did not expect Coley to be snapping on Tommy at the mixer. Okay? So I think we need to realize that, yeah, we may have a little snapback. We may have to say something a little bit, off to the side. And that makes it no longer, very welcoming. We need to see everybody in their different stages, their different emotions. And she is wonderful. She is absolutely gorgeous. She is very open to the process. And that is very, very good for this and this speed dating exercise. I think she's doing really well and will continue to do well. It's when it comes time to get serious. And I don't think Ready to Love is leading to marriage. It's just leading to exclusive dating. I think when you get serious, when she marks her territory for some person and commits, how is that going to play out in the ladies' lounge? How is that going to play out with the other men? So, I think it's just a matter of balance, but she is totally, totally, putting her best foot forward in these mixers. And then I guess she'll weed through the rest of the people.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. Oh, Siwa, I don't know if you want to answer the question. Sorry, my bad. What she could do better. Not to do better. Why she may be single in terms of the fact that she's such a lovely, bubbly person. Seems everyone seems to, enjoy her company, especially her presence. Why she may be single. Because that's what Sean and Elsie were kind of breaking down.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Sean said, and I only part of what else said. I think I was scooting over to y'all, so I missed a little bit of it. But yeah,
No problems.
what was said seems to be accurate. I don't know if anyone talked about just. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I think we have to see more though because there's definitely something. There's definitely something to it for sure. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all.
Oh, and I don't know if we covered it too, but I see it in the chat as I've been like scanning. They mentioned that she's a workaholic, and I think
That's what I
that
mentioned, Sean.
you did too. I missed that part. I think that, that's a big deal. So a lot of times women will, over focus on their career and then now they're like, okay, now I'm done. And then sometimes it still creeps in there because they're, so career focused. Some men may not feel like there's room for them. So,
Yeah, you have to have strong boundaries, and so far, it seems that her boundaries are very wishy washy. I mean, I don't want to say that definitively because I'm not sure, but she may suffer from not having very strong boundaries, and you need those when you're interacting with folks.